Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! 17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan open. Chicago with the lead. Pfeiffer got a piece of it. It comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Tying run at second, 2 out. Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it and to the middle with the 15 to the 20, break 3 to the 25 to the 30 to the outside. 40, midfield, 40, 30 to the coast, 20, 15, Hester 5. Oh! Touchdown!
Toward Bryant. He will glove it toward Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this House Music Monday edition. I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. And if you're not following us on Facebook, what? Come on, go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. But wait, there's more. Go to the show's page, go to Shawn and Maya in the morning, like that page as well. So not only will you be following Sports Zone Chicago, but you'll be following Shawn and Maya in the morning as well. If you're watching this on our YouTube channel, excellent. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real. All right, listen, go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button. But also click the notification button. That's the little bell right next to it, and that'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. Oh, I forgot this. Now, if you're watching this on our mobile app, please don't tell me that no one we had a mobile app. Come on, baby, let's go. Let's get with the program. We have our own mobile app. So if you have We know you have a phone. So here's what you're going to do. All right, go to wherever you get your apps from. And it doesn't matter where you go, whether it's iTunes or Google Play or Amazon or Walmart or Kmart or 7-Eleven or Zayre, Zemsky, Macy, Montgomery Wars, Woolworth, Weebles, Gold Blast. It doesn't matter. You go there, you type in Sports Zone Chicago, you download it. You take us with you on the go. So not only do you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, not only do you get our other live shows throughout the week, and not only are they archived there like they are on Facebook, but I'll tell you what, we give you a slew. And I mean a slew of articles, thanks to my man Clarence, Council the Third. Big up to Clarence for keeping you abreast of all articles, Chicago sports related. Now, if you're watching this on a Roku channel, I like that kind of party, baby. And if you don't know, you better ask somebody. Sports Zone Chicago, we have our own Roku channel. So if you have a Roku television in the house, do us a favor. Download Sports Zone Chicago's channel to your television. All right, put us there right next to all the big boys. Netflix, Hulu, Prime, HBO Max, Apple Plus, Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, Stars. Put us there next to all the big boys. And you can watch us on the big screen. How run a big screen, right, Mickey? Vicky now. You can also tweet the show. You can tweet us at Sports Zone Shy. That's CHI at Sports Zone Shy. But if you want to follow me, just me personally, want to know what I did? Let me tell you what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. If you want. No. We got a great show, but I need you to get interactive. So whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or our mobile app, leave a question or comment on that platform. It'll come up here in the thread. We'll incorporate it into the show. And that, my peoples, is what makes this the best Chicago morning sports talk show around. And that's you. So bring them all, baby. Questions, comments, smart-ass remarks, because ain't nobody scared over here. And like The Rock says, baby, don't sing it. Just bring it. Let's check out the chat. See who we got today. Oh, stretch and scratch. Ouch. Levette Lee's in the house. She says, happy House Music Monday, y'all. How you doing, man? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Michonne Walls, what up on a House Music Monday? Michonne, man, I thought of you, man. We had, how many burpees did I do today? 18 times 4. 72 burpees I did today. When I saw I was like, freaking Michonne. James Ford checking in. What's up, Papa? I appreciate it. And listen, I don't know a lot about a lot, but I do know this. More of the usual suspects will chime in as the show goes on. That, my peoples, I can promise you. We got a good show at 9:30. At the bottom of the hour, we have my guy Fred Pfeiffer from the Big Red Bus coming out and talking Bulls basketball with me. All right, the Bulls with a big win. We'll talk about that over the reigning NBA Cup champions. So we're going to talk with Fred about that. And also, how soon, or does he still want to move Zach? Vooch, and some other thoughts from Fred Pfeiffer at 9:30. After that, at 10 o'clock, we're going to talk a little college football. The bowl season continues. Bowl games today, Monday, bowl games Tuesday, bowl games Wednesday, which is New Year's Day. The college football playoffs start tomorrow. 1 game tomorrow, 3 games on New Year's. So we have a lot to talk about. And then he's back, baby. Yeah. Scrub fans are happy. Cubs convention tickets are going to be at a premium. At a premium because he is back. We'll talk about Sammy Sosa returning to Cubs convention 2025. Let's see. Well, anyway. Ouch. I'm a little sore today. A little sore from CrossFit. It was a good one today. It was a good workout. A little sore. And it was just, today was a rough day. I don't know why. I just couldn't, I just couldn't. I almost didn't wake up. Yeah, it was frustrating. Frustrating a little bit. But we're gonna get through it. It's Monday, holiday week. And what do you guys have planned? Do you have any plans for New Year's? All right, I know a lot of people, back in the day, we'd be planning on going out to a club or a restaurant. Back in our younger days, you wanted to be out and about. But I know as we get older, that we don't really do that a lot. It's really kind of amateur hour. Everybody wants to go out and, do their thing, and they want to be out when the ball drops, when the new year rings in. And I get it. Like I said, I did it for so many years. I don't know if I'm going to go out at all. I don't think I'm going to. I know a lot of people. I was at CrossFit this morning, and a lot of, my class is a lot of older people. When I say older, I mean late 30s and 40s. And about 4 or 5 of the people in class today said, yeah, they're probably not even going to see the new year ring in. They'll be in bed. One person said they want to be in bed by 9 o'clock. One person said they want to be in bed by 8 o'clock. I'm like, what? I'm like, that is so crazy, because 8 o'clock, at 8 o'clock on a normal day, the thought of going to sleep hasn't even isn't even a remote possibility. Isn't even a remote possibility. So it's interesting to see how some people, are going to spend the new year. And I encourage you to make resolutions. Okay? I do. It's important. Like what you should have done or what you can still do is create a vision board. All right? Some people think it's silly and goofy or whatever, but it gives you a visual of why you're doing what it is that you're doing. All right? There's a reason, there's a why for all our things. And those vision boards can give you a daily reminder of all the ish that you're going through. All right, all you got to deal with and put up with. I have my vision board. And it's actually it's behind my screen. It's on the wall. I have quite a few things on there that I look to achieve or attain. In the new year. And it's going to take a lot of hard work. It's going to take a lot of work. But you know what? I'm never scared of the work. And that's the thing about life. You can't be afraid of the work. If you're afraid of the work, you might as well hide from the money. If you run from the work, you might as well hide from the money. And that is that's keeping it a buck. That's keeping it a buck. And I implore you to make some goals. To set some goals that if you told anybody, they would think you're nuts. If you told anybody your goals, they would think you're freaking crazy. But that's the type of goal. All right? That's the type of goal that you need. Those are the type of goals that you need. And the ones that make you work. Because let me tell you something, when you achieve a goal that is very extremely difficult to achieve, your self-worth, your self-love, your self-confidence, the respect for yourself goes through the roof. And it helps us find our purpose. So I ask you, find something that you're passionate about. What do you want? What in your life do you want to change? Okay, is it your financial situation? Is it your housing situation? Is it your job situation? Is it your relationship situation? Is it your friendship situation, your circle of friends? What do you want to change? Write these things down. If you can get a picture, like I have a picture of a house that I want to get. Okay, I have a picture of cars I want to drive. I have a picture of a studio for Sports Zone Chicago. I have some other things in there as well. Okay, make a goal. Get a picture. You can go anywhere and get the pictures. Okay, it doesn't even have to be the way you like it. Just get a picture of it. Put it on a vision board. And bust your ass every day trying to get them. Bust your ass every day to achieve those goals. But I digress. Guys, let's get right to it, baby. You know how we do the first segment of every show. It's called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it.
Let's go. Which way do we go? Which way do we go? Which way do we go? Here we go. We start here. The Blackhawks fall to the Dallas Stars. Yesterday, 5-1. Really? Yeah. Blackhawks fall to the Stars 5-1. Soderblom, he stopped 35 shots. Connor Bedard lit the lamp for the 10th time this season. He was assisted by Seth Jones and Teuvo, who had his ninth assist, and Teuvo Teravainen, who notched his 7th assist of the season. The Blackhawks are off today, but they have a big game tomorrow. New Year's Eve, the next top of the morning topic, the Blackhawks host the St. Louis Blues tomorrow in the Winter Classic at Wrigley Field. Where did that go? Ay, Dios mío, no me digas. The Winter Wrigley Field is going to be it's going to be a little cold out there. I tell you, it's going to be a little cold. But to see a hockey game outside, yeah, that'd be pretty dope. That would be pretty dope. I don't know if I'd pay for it, but I think that'd be a good thing to see. Actually experience it in the elements. You see the Winter Classic up in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. But they make a big to-do about it, and they should. It's a pretty big deal. So good luck to the Hawks tomorrow. Keeping it moving. The next top of the morning topic. On Saturday, the Bulls. Yeah, baby. A couple of days ago, the Bulls with a big 116-111 win. Okay, over the reigning NBA Cup champion Milwaukee Bucks, 116-111. All right, this was at home. And actually, it's the last time that they're going to play the Milwaukee Bucks this season, which is crazy. Their matchups against the Bucks are finished. I think they played twice at each spot already, maybe even 3 times, which is really crazy. Really crazy. But big win by the Bulls. All right, Josh Giddey with a triple-double, 23 points, 15 boards, 10 assists. Nikola Vucevic, Mr. Walking Double-Double himself, 23 and 13. Kobe White, 22 points. Zach LaVine, 15 points, 6 rebounds, 7 helpers. The next top of the morning topic, the Bulls travel to Charlotte, the Queen City, to play the Hornets tonight. Tip-off is at 6 p.m. Central. You can catch that game on Chicago Sports Network or listen to it on their flagship station, 670 a.m. It's the score, 670 or 670 the score. Next top of the morning topic, the Cubs. Stick with them. The Cubs acquire utility infielder Vidal Brujan from the Miami Marlins in exchange for first baseman Matt Mervis and cash considerations. So it looks like Matt Mervis is moving on to Miami. Couldn't find a spot for him in the lineup on a daily basis. Next top of the morning topic. I know this doesn't have to do with Chicago, but this has to do with the NFL. I thought this was pretty darn cool. Saquon Barkley, the running back that I wish we would have had, although we wouldn't have the O-line to block for him, like Philly does. Became the 9th player in NFL history to rush for 2,000 yards. He did it yesterday. big win by the Giants. And he can break Eric Dickerson's single season record next game, final week of the season, if he gains 101 yards. He needs 101. And he will pass Eric Dickerson. Now, Eric Dickerson did it in less games, in 16 games. However, Saquon, I believe, is going to do it in less carries. Saquon has been a phenomenal player for the Eagles. And let me tell you, what's really crazy is that there was here. I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna play this. Because this. And I saw something like this. I've seen a couple clips of this. And it's crazy to think that, oh my goodness, like this is how they're thinking. It's crazy to think this when you're dealing with certain people. And how can you do it? No, I want this one. There you go. This isn't even, there's another clip that I wanted. There's another clip that I wanted that shows, man, it was even more egregious. More egregious. But, so watch this. This is from Hard Knocks.
I just think all the teams that need a running back are going to look at Saquon. Do you feel good about eating $3 to $4 million for a 5th round pick? Like I wouldn't.
I don't know. There's no guarantee we can trade it. So having the needs that we have in a $12 million, 27-year-old running back.
Trading Saquon is a Hail Mary. And the drama and all that goes with it. We did that last year.
10 years off my life dealing with it. Emotionally was draining. We spent a lot of time on it. But again, I don't want that to be the reason that we don't do what's best for the franchise.
Okay, so to take this step further, we lose Saquon, right? What's our identity going to be on offense now? And what's our plan what's the next step of that? I guess is what I'm thinking. Like we're losing.
Yeah, well,
a large part of our offense, our explosiveness, our touchdowns. Quarterback, if it's Daniel, depends on the run game.
We got to upgrade the offensive line, and you're paying the guy $40 million. It's not to hand the ball off to a $12 million back. My plan is address the offensive line at some point here in free agency. We're sitting at 6. There's a chance there's an offensive weapon there. This is the year for Daniel. Plan all along was give him a couple years. Is he our guy for the next 10 years, or do we need to pivot and find somebody else?
That's what was going on with Giants. And the crazy part is they screwed themselves big time. Because they decided to let Saquon walk. He walked in free agency. He was a free agent. Didn't trade for him. They got nothing back in return. They let him go to Philly. And they end up releasing Daniel Jones. So now you don't have a $40 million quarterback because you paid him out, and you have one of the top running backs in the NFL leave your squad, so you have none of them. And Saquon was on the cusp. Excuse me, Saquon was on the cusp of history. Is on the cusp of history now. You heard the front office gentleman say, "What's our identity?" Well, this is the problem when you pay quarterbacks. You figure you have to pay quarterbacks X amount of dollars. You don't. You don't. You have to pay them what you feel is fair, or offer them what you feel is fair. And I'm talking from a business perspective. Offer them what you think is fair. Okay, and this is why it's imperative that everybody talks about a quarterback winning a Super Bowl on the rookie deal, because once you get out of that deal, then it's crazy. Now quarterbacks are going to want all this money, blah, 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 and it's going to be a big pain in the butt, cap-wise. I'm trying not to stir up too much stuff today. All right, before we go to break, I got one last top of the morning topic. Cub fans, are you ready? Are you ready? Cub fans, your mans and them. It was confirmed yesterday, Sammy Sosa will be at Cubs Convention 2025. I know they came out and said they invited him. Okay, but it wasn't confirmed that he would actually be able to attend. Well, guess what? It was confirmed yesterday. Slam and Sammy will be at Cubs Convention. I'm telling you what, I'm going to apply for credentials for that particular event. I love Sammy. You know, I hate the Cubs. I hate their fan base. But damn, Sammy was awesome. Sammy was awesome. And I think that is going to be a great, great thing to see Sammy back in the Chicago Cubs fold. And he is going to, I mean, the guy was just electric. The guy was electric, magical. What he did in that season in '98 with Mark McGwire, fan favorite through and through. And now he's going to be at Cubs Convention. I'm not even a Scrubs fan, and I'm excited for this because I think he got a raw deal. I think Major League Baseball knew about it. They profited from it. Thank you for saving us and getting everybody back involved in the game. And now we're gonna blackball you because we have some old fudgy, studgy old guys. But anyway, Sammy Sosa, Cubs Convention 2025. Get your tickets. They are going fast, if not sold out, and they will be at a premium if you get them on the second market. Ant Moss in the house checking in said, if you have a chance to do a stadium tour of Wrigley, do it. Why? Why is that? I've been to Wrigley plenty of times, but why would you say that, Ant Moss? Just asking. Just asking. Well, listen, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we're going to welcome our guy, Fred Pfeiffer, for the Big Red Bus. And we're going to talk Bulls basketball. We're going to talk about that big, big win over the reigning NBA Cup champion, Milwaukee Bucks, on the weekend. So don't go anywhere, folks. Fred Pfeiffer up next, right here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Many Many will hear the calling. Few will earn the title. United States Marine. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
How do you take care of your mind health?
For my mental health, I meditate in the mornings.
I have my dogs. They're the best.
I just find ways that help me just relax.
Finding things that make me happy, like being close to my family.
I meditate a lot and read books.
I have hobbies outside of the game. I'm able to switch off. I'm able to turn my brain off from the game of basketball.
Your mind health matters.
Your mind health matters.
We are looking for a few heroes, mentors, trailblazers, innovators, a passion to change lives, spark curiosity, open hearts, and awaken minds, help students answer the question, who am I? This could be your calling, but this is no job. It's the journey of a lifetime. Be a hero. Be a teacher.
Mental health and learning disorders don't discriminate. 17 million children and adolescents in the United States live with disorders like anxiety, depression, ADHD, and dyslexia. Less than half get the help they need to thrive. Help the Child Mind Institute change these children's lives. Visit childmind.org.
Yeah, I mean, after a play like that, you got all the momentum on your side, and you just got to capitalize on it. No, I don't really get too out of hand or like chaotic or just in the mess of things. I just try to stay even keel and go out there and play.
The final sequence on the drive, the clock management and all that. I mean, I think that's what he was talking about with chaotic. Like, what did it feel disjointed, or I mean, you guys were letting the play clock go down to like 2 every single time.
I mean, it was some wrinkles in there. I mean, it was the one time that it went all the way down, and we really didn't know what to do. But at the end of the day, that's on us. We got to stay prepared and throughout the whole game. And I mean, that's all I can say. Good season.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of me. I was in the locker room after the game. That was Sunday. At home, I was acting crazy. It was after the game at home, and yeah, interesting comments by our man DJ Moore. But we're gonna switch gears a little bit. We're gonna talk a little hoops with my guy, and I'm excited to have him back. Always excited to have this guy on. Our conversations are always spirited, and one of the things I love is sometimes we don't always agree, and that's okay. And that is okay, because in life we don't always agree on things. We don't always see things the same way, and that's fine. But you know what? We talk, we debate, we go back and forth, we respect each other, and that's what's cool about it. You know, we can agree to disagree, and that's cool. There's nothing wrong with it. But this guy's been he's been rocking with us for years, and I'm looking forward to hearing what it is he's got to say today on our bullies. You can find him on Twitter at CBE Fred. Guys, welcome back to Shawn and Maya, Fred Pfeiffer. Fred, what's up, Papa? How are you? Got you on mute. You might be on mute. No, do you have the volume down on your computer? You don't. Trying to think of what it could be. It's got to be. It's got to be on your computer. Check your microphone on the computer. Like I said, or you might just have the volume all the way down on your settings. Here, I'll let you work it out, and we'll talk about that in a second. We'll talk with Fred in a moment as soon as he gets ready, gets back up and running. So we can kind of go some of the things that are I'm excited about are this. I'm excited about, first of all, I'm really excited about Cubs convention. I know it sounds weird. I like Sammy. I think Sammy got a raw deal. I think Sammy's a dude who, him and Mark McGwire saved baseball, and they kind of got shunned and blacklisted after that, and now it's his time. And then I was a little annoyed with Ricketts saying you got to apologize. Like, who are you? He didn't do anything to you. But anyway, let's see if we'll get Fred back, and we'll see if he's got some audio. Fred, what's up, buddy? No, we're still not getting the audio. Oh goodness, I wonder what the situation is there. Nothing. Do you have a volume switch on your headphones? Sometimes you have a volume switch in the headphones that it might be muted. That happens to me sometimes on my cord. I'll sit on it and mute it. No, huh? Oh goodness, I don't know. And I'm not that tech savvy. I'm not that tech savvy, so I don't even. Yeah, because I don't have, you're not muted on my end. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. All right, yeah, he's gonna come back on. But I just think Sammy did a lot for baseball. And I think that he got the raw end of the deal, and for him that sucks. Cub fan, that sucks. And Sammy's just a good guy. I love it. And I'm happy he's returning. I don't think he'll ever be in the Hall of Fame, but he deserves to be for what he did for him and Mark McGwire did for baseball. And I think but we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. Let's see. Let's check out my guy, Fred. Fred,
John, can you hear me?
Now I can. Yes. Yes.
Can you hear me? Oh,
yes.
I'm so sorry about that. I don't know what's going on this morning. It's been a disaster like the season so far, I guess. It's symbolic of how the Bulls have been so far for the last under Acme. But I'm back. It's great to talk to you, and so good to talk some Bulls.
Yeah, is there a Mercury retrograde or something going on with all this technology stuff?
Dude, I've been on your show. I've been on thousands of shows. This has never happened once. I don't know what happened, but luckily I shifted to mobile, and I can hear you loud and clear.
Perfect. Well, big win by the boys at home over the reigning NBA Cup champion Milwaukee Bucks, minus the Greek Freak. That played a little part in it. But who cares? No one cares when we're hurt. All right. So guess what? It's attrition. It's part of the season. And it happens. Injury happened to all of us. Your thoughts on the game? On the game on Saturday, Josh Giddey with a nice little triple-double. Very nice, young man. Very nice. Mr. Walking double-double himself. Vooch with a double-double. Give me your thoughts on the game Saturday over the Milwaukee Bucks at home on the West Side.
Well, I think the most important thing was it was Josh Giddey's best game as a Chicago Bull. I don't think there's any debate in that against a really good team. I thought he played excellent on both sides of the court. I didn't think he had it in him on the defensive side. He looked a lot better there. I mean, I was really down on the trade just primarily for the fact that they didn't get any draft assets in return. But, he looked – I mean, that was something else to see. So I think there might be hope here, but the issue is how much you're going to pay this guy. he's going to be a free agent, a restricted free agent at the end of the season. And I think that was kind of the issue with this entire deal. You had a valuable trade asset in Alex Caruso, who was wanted by every team in the league, an elite 3-and-D defender and player who's obviously helped out Oklahoma City. And now, we got Josh Giddey, and now we're going to have to pay him. So I think it all comes down to how much is he going to demand, because this year, I think you would agree probably, it's been an uneven season for him. He's a really poor defender on the perimeter. But he is an excellent rebounder. He is an excellent passer, and his shot is still, big question mark there. So, but he is young. I think that's the thing. Like, we always forget, he's younger than Kobe White. He's younger than Patrick Williams. He's younger than most players on this team. So, it's going to be interesting to see what happens this offseason. If we can get him for $20 million per year for 4 or 5 years, I think that's an ideal situation. But apparently his agent was looking for $30 million and north of that. And if he puts up many more nights like he did against Milwaukee, he's absolutely going to garner that kind of money. You got to remember, Emmanuel Quickley's getting paid $35 million a year. I mean, that's the market for elite point guards. So, and he's not even elite. So we'll see where it ends up.
Yeah, and dude, he looks like he's 12, man. Jesus Christ. That kid looks young. I mean, he's young, but he looks young. And I was really interested. I was happy for the guy. Because he really hadn't gotten off here in Chicago. We were looking for we were wondering how his game compared to Lonzo Ball, because remember when Lonzo Ball, this is before he was coming back, like we were like, okay, do we have a guy who can run this offense? All right, Lonzo Ball ran the offense very, very well. We'd say, okay, can Josh Giddey do this? Can Josh Giddey hit the three at a respectable rate, or at 40% clip? There are a lot of question marks around him, and I'm not saying he's answered all those questions, but just him. Quite a few games that I've seen, he's done a bit, and maybe not hit 40% from three, but he's played defense. His defense has gotten much better. He's not afraid to take the three, which is good, and I think that's good. That goes across the board to all this entire Bulls team. They're taking a lot more threes, and I think when I watch this kid, I like his game, and I think he's got a lot more room for improvement. But I don't know if I'm ready to give him 35 mil. 30, I think that might be a little too much. We'll see.
I agree. And I think, but unfortunately, I think that's what they're going to end up doing. When you look at the Chicago Bulls, their history is paying guys, I think overpaying guys who are quote unquote their guys. Patrick Williams was overpaid. Patrick Williams is overpaid by $3, $4, $5 million. No doubt Vooch was at the time he signed that contract. And when you start adding that up over the course of a roster, and you've overpaid guys by $3 million, and you keep on doing that, $4 or $5 million, then you're losing out, especially in this environment, which is the NBA has become a hard cap. People don't realize it yet, but that's essentially what it is. It is next to impossible to deal with a team under the second apron. It's essentially a hard cap. So every million counts, and if you're overpaying guys, you're going to lose out on really good players. Like Gary Trent Jr. is an excellent player. He's 25 years old. He's averaged 13 points in the league for many years now, and the Milwaukee Bucks got him for $2 million a year. There's good players that you can get for $2 million. So every time you overpay somebody, it's going to hurt your team. That's where we're at with the Chicago Bulls. They have very little room to maneuver.
What's your thoughts, or what's anything you hear on the movement of Zach LaVine? There was some trade talks about Sacramento being close, and what about Zach being moved, and what about Vooch being moved? I mean, you're trying to get rid of these two guys to go younger and get more talent. Have you heard anything on that?
Yeah, I mean, heard a lot. There was a lot of rumors about Denver, that trade with Denver for Zach LaVine. I think that was greatly in Denver's favor. If you look at the deal, it was primarily it was Michael Porter Jr., who's 3 years younger than Zach LaVine, but he's you want to talk about an injury risk with Zach LaVine, it gets exponentially worse with this kid. I mean, he's got an issue with his foot due to all the back surgeries he's had, and he's signed for almost the same amount of money, a little bit less, but for the same period of time. And then they were trying to also throw in a couple bad contracts in that deal, which would have been dumb for the Bulls to do. I think you would have been better off just holding on to Zach and just playing this out, as opposed to bringing in that type of agreement, which essentially is, although Porter Jr.'s makes a little bit less money, he's and people will say, well, he's a great shooter. Well, so is Zach LaVine. You look at their numbers; they're about the same from three. And Zach LaVine can actually do stuff with the ball as a primary attacker, ball handler, and that Michael Porter Jr. can't. So, what I've heard is it's still going to be really difficult. And that's what you saw with Miami. Miami came out and said, we're not trading Jimmy Butler. The reason isn't because they want to keep Jimmy Butler. The reason isn't because, Jimmy Butler doesn't have value. The reason is because he makes a ton of money as a player option for over 50 million next year. And it's impossible to do deals like that because no matter who you send out, you got to take the same money in when you're at the stages with Miami. Vooch is, I think, if he keeps playing at this level, will be a little bit easier to move. But that's my question: can he keep on playing at this level? I've never seen. I think he should be in a running for most improved player. It is night and day where this guy has gone. I mean, he literally became last year was one of the worst 3-point shooters in the league, and this year he's become one of the best. I've never seen anything like it. It's incredible. He's been over 40% from three for most of the year. And when you look at the best team in the league shooting 40%, the worst team shooting 32, that's what Vooch has done. He's gone from 29% last year to 40 plus this year on high volume. It's incredible. I really think, again, as another example of poor management by the front office, we didn't need to give him a third year, but we did. And that makes it harder for him to be traded. He signed for another year. If this was an expiring deal this year, I have no doubt some team would have taken Vooch. But he signed for another 20 million next year. And as good as he's played this year, I think most of the league still sees that he's horrible on the defensive end. He can't protect the rim. But I do think he does have value. There's no denying it, how high he's playing on the offensive end.
Yeah, I was wondering. That was going to be my next question about his trade value because obviously we want to get rid of him and Zach if we can get rid of those and kind of restart this whole thing all over again. But I do agree with you. I like Vooch. Vooch, I think in the last time you were on here, I said Vooch is playing defense. He's blocking shots. His 6-8 inch vertical. He's jumping. He's blocking shots. I was very impressed with his hustle. I'm very impressed with the determination and the hustle of everybody on his team. Julian Phillips, Dalen Terry. I really, really like this young squad. What do they need to do? Or they just need to get rid of Vooch and Zach? Because I really like a lot of the youngsters. Again, I'm not putting them in the NBA Finals by any stretch. I didn't put them in the playoffs. However, I do like the athleticism. I do like the length. I do like the tenacity with which these young guys play. They're just kind of raw and need more court time.
I agree to a certain extent. Like if we're talking about trade value, the two players, and I just had this conversation with Will Gottlieb, who's a beat writer for CHGO, and I asked, if you talk to the 29 other teams in the NBA, who has the greatest trade value on this team? It's Kobe, White, and Ayo, like 1A and 1B, and no one else has really even close. I kind of feel like you're at a difficult point, Shawn. Like you have these two really good players in Ayo and Kobe that are, not exactly young anymore. They're probably, starting to approach their prime, but they're also on really bargain contracts that are eventually going to have to be, you have to re-sign these guys and figure out what you're going to do. You might be better off trading one of those two. You might be better off moving one of those guys. And I hate to say it because I love both of them, but this is a pickle we're in right now because right now we're too good. We're the 9th overall team in the Eastern Conference, and everybody who's listening to this should know if we finish like 11, 12, 13, 14, we hand that pick in the first round to the San Antonio Spurs due to the DeMar Rosen trade. It is imperative that we're 1 through 10 this year, or else we'd lose that pick. In a loaded draft, mind you, with Cooper Flagg and Ron Harper's son, and Ace Bailey. So Ace Bailey, there's a ton of really good players in this draft. So what good is it to finish 11, 12, 13? I just had this conversation with a Bears fan. Like we're 9th right now, believe it or not. If we pick the season, NFL season ended today, what good is that? I would rather be 2 less wins and pick 1, 2, 3 and get an offensive lineman that matters as opposed to being 9th. It's the same thing with the Chicago Bulls. So the one caveat I would give, if we see Modest and some of these young players like Kobe and Ayo really exploding and doing great things, well, then so be it. But what we've seen is the two best players by far are Zach and Vooch. And so these are two guys that aren't in the long-term future, and they're pulling this into handing our pick to the Spurs. It's kind of, people will compare it to 2017-18 when Niko Mirotic played for the Bulls, came back after getting punched out by Bobby Portis, played incredibly well, and it really hurt our draft standing. We still were a pretty bad team, but we finished 7th in that draft that Luka was available in. I would counter that it's nothing like that year. And then the reason why is because the other big impetus for that good stretch in 2017-18 was Lauri Markkanen, who made first team all rookie. He was it was a first year of the rebuild. And very importantly, we were able to turn Nico into a first round pick. And he only played 25 games. So, that was a little bit more difficult situation and a little bit more unexpected, but at least we had a young player playing exceptionally well to help that team. What we got this year is Zach and Vooch playing at a all-star level. And we still, after 30 games for both of those players, somewhere around 30, we haven't been able to trade them. So,
that's the key thing. Can we get rid of one of these guys or both of them and try and make sure we stay in the top 10? To remain possessors of that particular pick. We're gonna find out. I do like, and we're kind of in a conundrum here because, as you mentioned, I like to see the Bulls win. I like to see the Bulls play well. I like to see the chemistry on the Bulls become tighter and more noticeable. All right. Mm-hmm. But by the same token, we're still talking about that one pick, and if you want to get better quick, you need picks, and that's what we need. So it's kind of, I'm in quite a conundrum, like you is, because I still want I'm rocking my Bulls hat today, but I want them to win, but I really want them to lose. So it's a tough situation. What are your thoughts on Billy? Any rumblings of him, his seat getting hot?
I don't believe so. I think he's very well liked, and I know we differ on this one. I really think he's a good coach. I think this team is such a travesty defensively. What he's done this year compared to how the team was last year is, to me, a miracle. Like, if you look at that team last year, it was a half-court team, last in pace. He took the talent, he adapted a style based on the talent with DeMar DeRozan. This year's a completely different situation where now he's running. We're one of the fastest teams in pace. I think there's very few coaches that can do something like that in this league. Most of the coaches ask the talent to adapt to their system, whereas Billy Donovan's able to take the talent and adapt his system to the talent. I think it's really rare, and I don't think he's an elite coach, but I definitely don't think he's surprised. In the Bulls front office and the Bears front office and the situation in general. If you give me like 2 minutes or just run through this, if you got that, Shawn, I'd love to get your thoughts on this because it's something I've been working out. Number one, both front offices had their apex about 2 years in. Acme was hired in 2000, and their high point was that winter of 2022 when Ball was still healthy. They were a first-place team. Everybody loved them. It turned around pretty quickly shortly thereafter. Same with Poles. Poles was hired in 2022. 2 years later was his apex this past summer. Everybody loved the Bears. I'd say probably when they were 4-2, that was probably the apex, and suddenly that turned pretty quickly. But you look at how they built the teams, very similar. They traded a ton of draft assets for, players. Like in the Bulls case, they traded 3 first-rounders and 2 second-rounders for Lonzo Ball, DeMar DeRozan, and Vucevic. The Bears traded 2 second-rounders for Sweat, Claypool. They traded a 5th-rounder for Bates, a 6th-rounder for Taylor this year, a 4th-rounder for Keenan Allen. Threw a lot of draft assets to get these quote-unquote players that didn't take us to the next level. And I think the biggest one and the most important one to realize is both front offices, their best move was almost completely dependent on the incompetence of other organizations. Start out with the Bulls. The Bulls' best move was signing of Alex Caruso. Alex Caruso did not want to sign in Chicago. He wanted to re-sign in LA. The Lakers were too dumb and stupid to re-sign him. Too dumb and cheap. So we took advantage of that. Congrats. But still, it was completely due to the incompetence of the Lakers. In the Bears case, You look at the Carolina Panthers making that trade; they were a 7-10 team when they made that trade, and we passed on C.J. Stroud to move back to 9 and get their Panthers first round pick in the subsequent year. The odds of a 7-10 team with no incentive to lose going 1-16 in the following year are astronomical. Yet that's what happened because the Panthers were so incompetent. Now, where would the Chicago Bears be if we didn't have Caleb Williams? Who knows? But it would not probably be a good place. But think about that. The Panthers' incompetence and the Lakers' incompetence were two of the best moves. And then finally, the last similarity is the best player in Chicago Bulls is Zach LaVine. He was already here. And you look at Chicago Bears, the best player in the team, I think unequivocally this year has been Jalen Johnson. He's the best corner, probably has the most trade value, probably going to be one of their only people to make the Pro Bowl. And he was already here. So a lot of similarities galore between the two front offices, and they're both finally going to be granted with another rebuild. I'm not sure if that's the best way to go.
Unbelievable. Well, you and I will definitely we'll put that Bears conversation on hold because that's I have some pointed thoughts on that. Yeah, definitely. But as far as the Bulls team, it's tough, man. Like I said, so how should we as fans look at it? We don't want to root for them to lose, do we? But we don't root for them to win, or should we root for them to win and hope that they lose? I mean, how should fans go about it? Because the money gets involved. Because as fans, we want them to win. All right, we want to go to the games. We want to win the game experience. And I'll give Reinsdorf that the game experience is just that. It's an experience. It's a fun time. It's a fun time with the DJs and the lady juggling the teacups and shit and the t-shirts that they shoot out all over the place, or they drop from the ceiling. And it's a fun experience. All right. And you go to that and you see some of it on TV, but when you're there, it's obviously a whole nother experience, and you want the team to win, but in reality, it's best if they lose. How should fans kind of navigate this interesting conundrum that we're in?
Well, that's what makes it so rough, Shawn, is that you look at this team, it's natural to want to win. And it's natural for me to feel excitement when we beat Boston in Boston and beat Milwaukee on Saturday night. But in reality, for the big picture, this is terrible for the future of the organization. We're the ninth we're the ninth seed today. We're the play-in team. And I think you have to move Zach LaVine and Vooch somehow, some way to make this team worse. It's a real conundrum. And if we end up making the play-in due to the great play of Kobe and Io and Modest, most importantly, then so be it. But if we make the play-in because of Zach LaVine and Vucevic and we can't trade them, and we hand our first-round pick, number 11 overall, to the San Antonio Spurs, what a waste. What a total colossal waste. And shame on the front office for putting me and the rest of the fan base in this situation with this idiotic addition and trade. So that's the best I could say.
Guys, we're joined by Fred Pfeiffer from the Big Red Bus, talking Bulls basketball here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Before we let you go, I do want to ask you about the youngster. I'm big fan of this young kid, local kid, Hinsdale Central, I want to say, before he left. He plays with an edge, man. Every time I see him, he's not finger rolling and he's not laying it off the glass. He's trying to dunk on your head. He's blocking shots. This kid gets it. Your thoughts on him overall and where you think his ceiling can be? Because I really like this kid. I mean, he reminds me of Lowry Marketing 2.0, except with a handle. And Lowry had a decent handle, but this kid's got a nice handle. He's skinny like Lowry was when he first got here. So, he's going to hit the weight room. It's not going to be an issue. Give him another season or two, another off season or two to get some meat on them bones, and he'll be able to ride into the cup. All right, and get the and ones. This kid's got a lot of moxie. This kid's got a little bit of a lot of an edge, and this kid knows he's from the Chicagoland area, so he knows Chicago basketball. He's been in and around the AAU circuit around here, so he understands that edge that you got to have. I just like this kid. I can't get enough of this kid, dude. I really can't. I'm like almost stalkerish of this young man.
Well, the good things are, you touched on a lot of stuff. He's got the confidence and the, will to dominate, which I don't think Patrick Williams has had. Like, I believe like all great all great players have to have that. Just I want to destroy the competition, and I think he has that. I think he has a tremendous amount of confidence, which is also very important. Very good athlete, very good help defender, has the ability to block shots. So those are all the positives. The negatives right now, he's just not a good shooter. He's just not good enough, anywhere near good enough. He wasn't good enough in the G League. Shot below 30% last year, and I see improvement, and I see definitely that he's less hesitant to take that three, but you just got to be able to hit the three at his position. And the other one is negative is he's just not big enough. You can see it on the defensive end. And I know Laurie, I've heard that also comparison to Laurie, but after talking with Joe Colley, Joe Colley mentioned that Laurie in his rookie year was big enough. Like he was about 20, 30 pounds heavier and clearly built a little bit better. And he's just stronger. He needs to get considerably bigger and stronger, because I see it on the defensive end. If you watch, he really struggles with boxing out the bigger, more physical players.
Yeah.
That's where his negative is. But as far as like a help defender blocking shots, it's there. So no doubt, everybody should be excited about this kid, but we do need to see improvement with the jump shot, the 3-point shot, and just getting bigger. And that will come. I mean, he's 20 years old.
I was just going to say.
Yeah, big picture, we should be excited, but there's a lot of room for improvement with those two things, the shooting and the size.
Yeah, give the guy 3 years. 3 years, he'll only be 23, still not in his prime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's give him 3 more off seasons, and he'll have a nice frame. He'll gain some muscle. I presume they're going to train him where he's not going to lose explosiveness, actually gain explosiveness and more power. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this kid. He is going to be one of the reasons he's must see. He's must see basketball because he's got an edge. One, he's a local kid. He's got an edge. There's just an aura about him. It seems like a very nice, humble kid. But man, when he gets on that court, man, it is fun and exciting to watch because man, he's gonna try and dunk on your head, and it's exciting. It's exciting when you have those young players with that edge. We haven't had young players like that in a long time. If we did, we traded them, Bobby Portis. You know what I mean? And so,
yeah, that's true. Yeah, Bobby Portis, that's a good example. Or like Daniel Gafford, or players that play
Gafford too. Yes, love him.
Physical, physicality.
Dallas, are we at Dallas right now?
Well, yeah, we traded him to Washington for.
No, but is he in Dallas right now?
Yeah, he's in Dallas.
Gafford?
He's playing fantastic for them. He was great in the playoffs for them last year. But
it's not like he blocks shots or gets tons of rebounds or anything.
haven't had a ribbed defender since we sent him out. He's been a perfect backup to Vooch, but what can you do, man?
Hey, Fred, great stuff, buddy. I appreciate it. Do me a favor, though. Let everybody know where they can find you and your work online.
Big Red Bus is where you're going to probably hear me the most on all platforms. Just do a search for Bulls Big Red Bus. So and then on Twitter is where, or X, where I'm usually found under @CBE Fred, @CBE Fred. Shawn, it's always good to see you, my friend. Happy New Year to you, and I hope you and your family are doing well. Thank you so much for having me on, and I apologize about technical difficulties today. Never will happen again.
Don't worry about it. It happens. It happens to the best of us. Don't worry. I started my show the other day, and it was buffering. I was like, and I had to go restart the router, and I was like, Jesus. So it happens to the best of us, boss. No biggie. Hey, Happy New Year to you and the fam as well, all right?
Thank you. Thanks, Shawn. Right. I'll talk to you again soon.
Sounds good.
Bye-bye.
Guys, that's Fred Pfeiffer from the Big Red Bus talking Bulls basketball with your boy. And we're going to take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we're going to get into some football talk, baby. We got college football playoffs. Well, college football bowl season is going on today. Today. Was it the Music Bowl, the Pinpoint Bowl? What kind of bowl is it today? What bowl is it today? Music City Bowl. That's today. All right, we're going to talk about some of those. And then tomorrow, New Year's Eve, the college football playoff resumes. 1 game tomorrow. Okay, and then 3 games on New Year's Day. Fiesta tomorrow. Fiesta. Cue up R. Kelly. Yes, don't worry. Hey, it's all right. He put out good music. I don't care. I don't care. Before we go to break, let's see some people who checked in over the while we're talking Aunt Moss. Look at him. Clubhouse and dugouts, even security room. Touch that Ivy. No way, Aunt Moss. I'd have an issue going to a concert at Wrigley Field. Although I do still want to go. Northwestern's playing there next year again. They have Michigan at the friendly confines. I want to go to that game. But other than that, I got no reason to go to that hellhole. No reason whatsoever. No reason. Cornelius checked in. What's up, Papa? Charles McDavid checking in. What's up, Papa? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Oh, King Book of World checking in. Yeah, baby, baby. Salute Chat and Shawn, he says. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, man. Big time. But we're going to take a quick break, and on the other side of the break, we will get into some football conversation. I said college first and then the Bears. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the Superback, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
Hi, guys. Hey. Hi, Megan. Hey, Jessica. Megan, you're a tramp. Brian Fitch told me you guys made out. Everybody knows. He said your breath smells like garbage. And he almost puked. He says you're the most desperate girl he knows, besides your mom. How many boyfriends does she have anyway? Lots? Your makeup makes you look like a clown. That zit is huge, zit face.
Hey, bud, what you doing?
I'm playing with cars.
Cars? Can you show me what a car does? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on a second. First of all, this is a school zone. So you need to put down your cell phone, stop texting, and let's get to driving. Now you're coming up to a stop sign, right? You need to slow down and stop before you hit that Y line. I want you to look left, right, left. You don't want to get hit by a car going on your left, and to your right to make sure you don't get sideswiped by a guy coming from your right. You're coming, and you see a crosswalk. You better slow your horses down, because the #1 rule of driving is always yield to pedestrians. Now stop, pull over, and you are done driving. Gosh, what do they teach you kids in school nowadays?
Ozzy will be bunting.
Yes, drive it deep to left field. Get out of here! Sox win it! Baseball season's underway. There goes Sosa, pitch taken, throw down to second, and there it is. Sammy Sosa becomes the first Cub in franchise history to have 30 or more stolen bases, 30 or more home runs in the same season. Ready and cuts it loose. High drive.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. I'm telling you, Sammy was electric, man. Sammy was electric. I love Sammy. I love it. I love him. And the first clip was him on the White Sox. Remember, he started. Well, he was on the White Sox before he was with the Cubs, and it's going to be fun. You know what? He's a guy. What's so cool is that I don't know how many of us knew at that particular point how historic that run would be. Okay, between Mark McGwire and Sammy. I don't know how many of us knew. Some of us did. But looking back on it now, like we realize like how big that was, what that did for the game of baseball. And I know baseball is still losing fans and stuff now, but back then they were at a low point. They just got done with a work stoppage, and people were just kind of tuned out. And he gave people a reason. Well, those two, him and Mark McGwire, gave people a reason to watch baseball. Okay, to break one of these, some home run records, some of the best records in sports. And it's the sad part about what I do. Like, there's people in the media who can't wait who tell you how great you are, but are so quick to tear you down. And that's what a lot of people did. All right. A lot of people did. And I just think he got a raw deal. Junior says, I like Sammy, but I didn't like him when he thought he was bigger than the game. I hear you. You know, it's tough. Fame is an alluring mistress. Let me tell you. Fame, notoriety. It's tough. I'm telling you, it's difficult. And you guys got to remember, like, Sammy didn't come up through AAU, travel ball. Okay? Came from the Dominican Republic. He was poor, impoverished kid. Didn't have shit growing up except baseball. Baseball was his way out. And let's be honest. This city gave him a lot. This city fed into that. Sammy could do no wrong. Remember the domestic abuse, the 911 domestic call that they got when he was living at Lake Point Tower? Remember that? Kind of got brushed under the rug. Let's not forget. But the fans, the media, they hyped him up. And then as soon as he made a mistake, boom. Or as soon as the whole situation, and we all knew what was going on. Come on, it wasn't rocket science. We did, but how many of us didn't give a shit? I didn't. I wanted to see that son of a gun hit home runs. I want to see Mark McGwire hit home runs. I wanted to see him hit massive home runs. I mean, come on. How many times did you love seeing did Sammy put that son of a bitch on Waveland? Come on. And the hop. When you just heard it, you're like, oh shit, that's gone. Is that gonna go down the street? You know what I mean? And that was it. F. McGwire looks like a linebacker. Yeah, he did. He's about 6'4", 6'5", 250, 260. Cornelius Cole says, Sammy is still one of my favorites. He was so much fun to watch. He was, man. He was. So I said, we're going to apply for credentials for the Cub convention. And I just want to, man, that'd be so dope to get in there and just to say hi to him. And And not that I'm starstruck, because I've met Michael Jordan, I've met Walter Payton. It doesn't get any better than that for me. I met Harold Baines, my favorite baseball player of all times. That was probably the last time I was starstruck. It was like I was at the first 2018. Because I was a big Harold Baines fan. Big Harold Baines fan. So I met them all. But Sammy was cool, man. Sammy, he was slick. He was sly. You know what I mean? Like, there was the thing is, like, he was just so cool. And the things he were doing were historic. So that's why I wanted to play that coming out of break. Just because Sammy was the man. Sammy. I loved it. Sammy. Oh, the day he came running out in the field with the American flag. Come on, man. You know what I mean? Like, that was tough. That was, man. And the thing about it is he understood the entertainment part of it. See, Mark McGwire didn't understand the entertainment part of it. Like, Sammy had the hop. He hit it. Woo! He hopped it. You know what I mean? And everyone's like, and you knew it. And that was his thing, the hop. Okay? He'd run out, sprint out to right field. All right? Talking, barking with the fans, interacting with the fans. You know what I mean? And people would die they'd pack those bleachers early because they wanted to be in those right field bleachers and holler at Sammy and be like, "What up, Sammy?" And he loved it. They loved it, and he loved it. So next month, what is it, 25th? Cubs convention is going to be sold out. Tickets will be going at a premium on the secondary market. That's for sure. Let's get into some college football talk. Today, college bowl season continues. The Music City Bowl today at 1:30 p.m. Central on ESPN. Iowa. The Hawkeyes taking on. This is in Nashville. Sorry. It's in Nashville. Iowa takes on Mizzou, Missouri. As I said, kickoff is at 1:30 p.m. Central. You know, I like the bowl. I still love bowl season. I know they expanded it to 12 teams, and you know, starting New Year's Eve, you're going to have the college football playoffs, and they play in bowl games, and that's cool, and that's fine. But I still love the bowls, and I was never fortunate enough to play in one because I went to a 1AA school. And not just that I go to a 1AA school, but the 1AA school that I went to wouldn't allow us to go to the 1AA playoffs. Why? I have no idea. They let our basketball team go to the NCAA, to the big tourney, the big dance, but not us. Junior said, I scared the shit out of McGuire while he was pissing in an alley as I was bouncing. When I was bouncing downtown, I kicked open the door, threw out a can full of bottles, and McGuire was pissing there and jumped back, screamed. I can easily see that, bro. I can easily see that. Oh my goodness. But yeah, today I'm looking forward to the Music City Bowl. Why? I just love football. I know it's tough. I know a lot of people bow out. A lot of people don't play it, and I can't. But Iowa, Missouri, good football game today at 1:30, and then tonight, Monday Night Football, Lions at 49ers, San Fran. Yeah, you beat us, but you can't beat the Lions, can you? And then if you saw the game yesterday or on the weekend, Colorado and BYU, the de facto or the unofficial Big 12 championship game. You know, the one thing I said I was going to be a little make sure I noted things more. It seems like the Colorado players, and they're a good team. They won 9 games. They're trying for their 10th. Couldn't get it done. BYU, their players seemed stronger. If you looked at the players on BYU, they were much thicker. Legs, calves, thighs, back, arms. They were much thicker than the Colorado players. Travis Hunter, still scarily skinny to me. Scarily. That's an old word I just made up. Scarily skinny. I do that sometimes. It's okay. Don't try it at home. I'm a trained professional. But like Travis Hunter still looks really, really skinny to me. And I'm worried about him at the next level. A lot of the other players, same thing. They're good, they're quick, but I don't see any powerful people at Colorado. Powerful. At BYU, well coached. I think they kind of went in on the Deion wants all the hype. He's not very good, blah, blah. And they bought into that, and they came out and whooped their ass. Whoop that ass. Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick. It was unfortunate for Colorado. BYU did a little taunting and after. That's how it is. You talk shit. You win. You get the victor go the spoils. The victors go the spoils. And Deion knows it. Deion had no problem with it. You saw he went up to the coach after the game, gave him a big hug, mad respect for him. But now I think they got to really work on getting some dogs, not just talented players, some dogs. I need to see bigger players at Colorado. Deion is Deion. He's a man, so he's going to be able to attract top-notch players. And I'm talking players that are thicker, like you can see them, like they're grown men in young men's bodies. Like if you remember when Jadeveon Clowney came out of high school. I remember because he came out of high school the same year as 2010. It was in class of 2010, graduated 2011. So he came out because we had a defensive end at Curie, James Adeyanju, who was the number 16 defensive end in the country, according to multiple publications. And Jadeveon Clowney was number 1. Jadeveon Clowney was a grown-ass Mickey Ficky man. He was a grown man coming out of high school. Like, I know he shaved twice a day, before school and after the 5 o'clock shadow, after practice, because he had a 5 o'clock. That was a grown-ass man. That was a grown-ass man coming out of South Carolina high school. I forgot what high school it was. Then he goes to University of South Carolina, and he looked like a grown-ass man then. Just ask that joker from Michigan, who he snuck it, breaks into the backfield, hits the dude as he's taking the snap, rocks his world, his helmet falls off. Not his, the Michigan running back's helmet flew off. Colorado needs to recruit some players like that, get some players like that on that squad. Grown-ass men. But, so going back to you got the Music City Bowl today. Again, 1:30, ESPN. Pardon me, Iowa versus Missouri. And then on tomorrow, New Year's Eve, the college football playoff quarterfinals resume. The college football players resume with the quarterfinals. Fiesta, fiesta, Rockland. Fiesta, fiesta. Switching lanes in my 6 in the burbs. I met a broad named Tasha from the burbs. Number 3, Boise State taking on number 6, Penn State. Out in Arizona, Glendale. Game 1 of the college football playoffs this week. Game 1 of the quarterfinals. And that's at 6:30 Central. Let me double check. I don't know. Where are they going to play? I mean, what channel? They're not giving me the channels. Yeah, I don't know. They're not giving me the channel on. Darn it. Okay. Not giving me the channel. But anyway, then New Year's Day, first game, game 1. The Peach Bowl, Arizona State, number 4, Arizona State. I can't believe they're number 4. Going up against number 5, Texas. In Georgia. Probably playing at the Sugar Dome or the Superdome. Not the Superdome, but the Mercedes-Benz Superdome they're probably playing, I would imagine. That's game number 1. That starts at noon Central. Game number 2. The old granddaddy of them all, the Rose Bowl. 4 o'clock Central, 2 o'clock West Coast. West Coast. New Year's Day, the Rose Bowl. And it's like a classic Rose Bowl. Number 1, Oregon from the Big Ten. Up against number 8, Ohio State from the Big Ten. The Big Ten. And I'll tell you what, Ohio State's got a big task at hand. A big task. Number 1 team in the country. They've been like that for most of the year. This team is quite good. So I'm Ohio State. I got to make sure. If I'm Ryan Day, I got to make sure my boys are ready. They can't come out slow because Oregon's not coming out slow. They are not coming out slow. Who's next? The next game. Game number 3. Game number 2 on Saturday, but the game number 3 of the quarterfinals. New Year's Day of the Sugar Bowl. Down in New Orleans. Number 2, Georgia versus number 7, Notre Dame. Now, huge matchup for Notre Dame. I don't know if Notre Dame can get by Georgia. Georgia is a damn good team. Damn good team. Georgia. Georgia won the national championship in 2021, 2022. It was no joke. I don't know if Notre Dame has enough firepower. I could be wrong. Georgia's not playing with their quarterback, Carson Beck, who has declared for the NFL draft. I think he's undergone Tommy John surgery on his throwing elbow. It's ulnar collateral ligament. That's the ligament right here. It's usually for pitchers and quarterbacks get it. Can have issues with the ulnar collateral ligament, the UCL. So he's out, but he's declaring for the draft. I don't know how. Not a big fan of his talents. Yeah, not a big fan. So that's the last game of the night tomorrow. Game 3. 7:45 p.m. Central. That's a late start. Number 2, Georgia versus number 7, Notre Dame. And that's going to be, it could be a good game. If Notre Dame was able to establish the run, keep Georgia's offense off that field, Notre Dame has a shot. I think it's a long shot, but they got a shot. Let's see. And a slew of other bowl games that are going on. But listen, we're gonna step away for a quick second for about a minute or two. All right, so don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. Keep it locked right here. We're gonna hop on some Bears talk. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Many will hear the calling. Few will earn the title. United States Marine. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
How do you take care of your mind health?
For my mental health, I meditate in the mornings.
I have my dogs. They're the best.
I just find ways that help me just relax.
Finding things that make me happy, like being close to my family.
I meditate a lot and read books.
I have hobbies outside of the game. I'm able to switch off. I'm able to turn my brain off from the game of basketball.
Your mind health matters.
Your mind health matters.
We are looking for a few heroes, mentors, trailblazers, innovators, a passion to change lives, spark curiosity, open hearts, and awaken minds, help students answer the question, who am I? This could be your calling, but this is no job. It's the journey of a lifetime. Be a hero. Be a teacher.
On the road, they've only lost once. Swift picks up the first down. Walker in front of him. 3rd and 9. Quick toss. Has blocking. Great run. Still going to the 31-yard line goes DJ Moore.
The screen when you turn on film to watch the Seahawks defense.
Snap wound up on the ground. Williams picks it up. Throws and completes it to Keenan Allen. Taylor to hold it. And Santos to boot it. Right down Michigan Avenue.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning at Sports Zone Chicago. Those video, that clip courtesy of Amazon Prime. Those are the boys on Thursday. So let's get into it. Now we got about 20 minutes left. One of the things that I'm concerned with is this. Ryan Poles. All right. I'm tired of this. And people, and I want to ask you, please let me know in the chat. Do you think Ryan Poles should be fired? Okay. Do you think Ryan Poles should be fired? I think he should be fired. Okay. And here's my reasoning. You've gone back on a lot of things you said you're going to go back on. We're going to build through the draft. Nope. If you're going to build through the draft, when you get a gift horse, you take that trade. You make that trade. And don't get me wrong, you had a good trade to get DJ Moore. Let's see what I know. I still have that. I think I still have it. Everything from that DJ Moore trade the first time. Okay. But if you have a chance to to do that trade again, do it again. And a lot of people disagree with me. Here we go. Here's the trade the number 1 overall pick. Okay, and they got DJ Moore. They switched and got swapped. They were able to get Darnell Wright, Tyreek Stevenson, the 2024 first overall pick, 2024 fourth round pick, 2025 second round pick from the Panthers. You also got the 2024 fourth round pick that came from the Eagles, so they can get Carter. That's funny. You're right, Junior. My man Junior says he turned into Pace hiding from the media. Yeah. But my thought is this. If this is what you got here, imagine what you would have gotten for Caleb for that number 1 pick. And for you, a former offensive lineman, when somebody gives you that alley-oop, you should have been like running down the court, going up and boom. Because it was all said 1 to 2, 2 to 9. Would have had 3 first-round picks. Imagine 2 offensive linemen and a stud 3 tech in the first round. Imagine that. That fixes a lot of freaking problems. And then probably 2 second-round picks. So not only, and let's be honest, let's call it a buck. First and second round picks are the people that make your team. Those are the playmakers of your team most of the time. Not all the time, most of the time. So why don't you stack your team with a bunch of first and second round picks? Those are more likely to make it than not. And then you would have had 2 first rounders this year, probably 2 second rounders this year. You would have had 2 first rounders next year and 2 second rounders next year as well. Do you realize what's that? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 players in 3 years, first and second round picks. Do you realize what kind of damage you can do? Do you realize what kind of quality and quantity of talented players you can get? See, everybody gets 1 pick per round. For you to be gifted that, I liken it to the Herschel Walker trade in 1989. Look at all they got. Nate Newton, Larry Allen, Eric Williams, Leon Lett, Russell Maryland. They built that Super Bowl team through that trade. This could have been the same one. Same way. So yes, Poles needs to go. Your refusal to deal and draft offensive linemen in the first and second round is criminal. You're right. You're all right. You're right, Junior. It's criminal. You're a former offensive lineman. How do you not understand this? How do you neglect the position that you played? And to go get a 5th rounder from Utah State or Southern Utah. Come on, man. Don't give me that bullshit. Don't give me a guy who's played at a lower level of talent and expected to be the starting left tackle to protect your franchise quarterback. The trade you made. Chase Claypool for a second round pick. That was Carolina's. It was actually the number 2 pick in the number 1 overall pick in the second round. Basically a first rounder. They got Joey Porter Jr. Pittsburgh did. We got Chase Claypool. Chase Claypool's out of the league. You drafted Zach Pickens. What has he done? Nothing. Noah Sewell. What's he done? Nothing. Tyler Scott. He's come on in recent last couple of games. But what's he done to this point? A year and a half, almost 2 years. Nothing. Terrell Smith. He's been a good backup. But you refuse to address that offensive and defensive line. You go get a project in Gervon Dexter. And Gervon Dexter started off well and then fizzled. Give me a dog. Give me a dude who knows he's a man like Jalen Carter and call it a day. Stop with the he said we didn't have the locker room. Well, guess what? That's the coach's job to set the culture in that organization. That's the coach's job. That's the general manager's job. Your job. If your coach if you don't think he can do it, first of all, he should have been hired. But secondly, then that's your job. And your refusal to commit to that is fireable. Fireable. Free agency. I won't give him a passing grade on the Montez Sweat deal, but Montez Sweat, ever since he got the contract, he's been MIA. He had a cheap-ass sack the other day. Sack's a sack, I guess, but the dude fell down. Geno Smith fell down. Montez Sweat was there to tap him, to touch him, gain the sack. Gervon Dexter has been rendered irrelevant. I know he's hurt right now. Zach Pickens, irrelevant. What's the defensive end we just got this year? The kid from Kansas. He's been irrelevant. You hired Eberflus. There's a lot that's gone wrong. A lot. So yes, I'd fire him. And it probably goes deeper than that. Because if the rumors are true that he wanted to fire Eberflus last year or this past offseason and they wouldn't let him, what the fuck is it? What is he doing there? That's his job. In his job description, that's his job as a general manager, to hire and fire the coaches, the head coach, among other things, of course. But that is smack dab in the middle of his job description. And for them not to allow him to do that, this is why I have an issue with a lot of people, with a lot of the coaches, established coaches, who are looking to get back in the game. They might not want to come here, but your arrogance. You wouldn't even bring in Bill Belichick. You didn't even bring in Dan Quinn. No, you brought in Dan Quinn, and you took Eberflus over Dan Quinn. Guess what? Dan Quinn's in the playoffs now with the Washington Commanders. Dan Quinn walked in, set the tone, set the culture, end the story. Here, nothing. You know, and then to have a chance to get another head coach? No. And I get it. You're given a list of 3 candidates to make your choice. Okay. Then you don't come out in the middle of the firings and talk about letting the offensive coordinator go, letting the head coach go. You don't come out and say why and talk to the media? I told you, I'm not a Cub fan, but damn it, Jed Hoyer, baseball president of baseball operations, would have had the press conference and sat there till every God-blessed question was answered. Every single one. That's accountability. That's understanding. No, hey, this is all my work. Me and Jed. But I'm Jed's boss, so I'm gonna take the heat. And he would have sat there at the table and answered all the questions. That Theo would have done. He's been there for a half hour. I know because I've seen it. He's been there answering questions for 25 minutes, half hour. No more questions? All right, cool. All right, thanks, guys, for coming out. Answered everybody's question. And where are you, Poles? Releasing a statement. Get in front of the goddamn camera. Get in front of the press. We got questions. I got a lot of problems with you people. We got questions. You doubling down saying it's the deepest that offensive line's been. Get the hell out of here. The people you got suck. So that says, hey, wait a minute. If all these guys that you got suck, can you evaluate talent? And that's been the biggest question recently. Is his ability to evaluate talent. Can he do it? Because sure as hell don't look like he can do it from this angle, from my perspective. Because there are a ton of people you could have taken when you took Bayless Jones, when you took Roma Dudze. You got all these picks, these high picks, and you get skill. You built a 7-on-7 team. Is what you drafted. Your first two picks were defensive backs. Kyler Gordon, corner. Jaquan Brisker, safety. First two picks you had in as a GM. You picked two DBs. Then you wonder why we can't stop the run. You wonder why we can't run the ball. There are certain things in football that are tried and true. Defense, running the ball, and you must win the line of scrimmage at all times. You win the line of scrimmage, chances are you're going to win that game. But you haven't put us in a position to win the line of scrimmage on either side of the ball. Think of this: if that trade was made, and you got a couple first rounders, as I said, give me two offensive linemen, one defensive lineman, first rounder, and then give me another defensive lineman. If you wanted two, okay, but then give me another offensive lineman. So now I got three offensive linemen in the first and second round, and two defensive linemen for the second round, or first and second round. I'm happy as a pig in slop because I just upgraded my offensive and defensive line big time. And guess what? All the first round picks are on 5-year deals. So they're locked in. The other guys are in 4-year deals. They're locked in. So yes, he should be fired. Here we got a guy who wants to think he's the smartest guy in the room, just like the problem we had with Getsy. I could find projects. I could find Braxton Jones, 5th round, Southern Utah. Kieran Amagazi, third round, Yale. There are tons of SEC and Big Ten linemen who starting who are in the draft. But you want to go get a guy, first of all, a skinny leg tackle. Come on, man, that don't work. Give me a guy with tree trunks. Give me a guy who can move, a guy who can handle a bull rush. These defensive ends are getting more explosive and powerful. So like only 270, 280, but man, when they get in you and bull rush you, that's just tough. You got to be able to withstand the bull rush. You're not going to be able to unless you got tree trunk thighs. It's just a shame. I'm thinking of a different type of line we could have had. And then guess what? Next 2 years, you keep backing them up. You keep backing them up with first and second round picks. Maybe a linebacker here, maybe a safety there, but get another offensive lineman, get another defensive lineman. Now you're like Alabama was 10 years ago. Stack it, the roster, the depth chart was full of 4- and 5-star players, 3 deep. But you didn't. You wanted to listen to all the hype. You wanted to listen. You wanted to listen to everybody and say this new shiny toy from USC is the guy. Is it? He's the guy. Guess what? He's not the guy. He's definitely not the guy with the team you put around him. Definitely not the guy. And for those people who want to come at me and say, oh, he's breaking all these records, that's a very low bar to step over. Very low bar. And I tell him this. First of all, Caleb was named starter. Before he was drafted, Caleb had access to our playbook. Okay? His quarterback coach and Shane Waldron were friends. So believe me, trust me. Caleb even said it, he let it slip one time in an interview. So he had the playbook. They draft him. He's named starter immediately. So in OTAs, in minicamp, in training camp, he got all the number 1 reps. He got all the number 1 reps. Something we can't say for the prior 2 quarterbacks. 2, he's a good quarterback. I've never said he was not a good quarterback. Never did I say that. But it seems like he's alienated and picked his favorites. He picked his favorites. And I don't know if he's being petty because DJ Morris said those guys, him and who's the other guy? Him and Jaden Daniels weren't better than Justin Fields. I don't know if he's being petty about it. I don't know. But he seems to be going away from DJ, going away from Cole, and trying to force feed Rome. Good question. But this guy, we heard the accuracy of this guy, the off-platform throws, the anticipatory throws. And I think Caleb can be the guy if you protect him. I'm getting a feeling he can be the guy if you protect him, but you got to protect him. You got to give him a line. You can't have 2 undrafted free agents, a 6th rounder or 5th rounder on your left side and your left tackle, and 1 first rounder on your offensive line. That's not going to work. Dallas Cowboys won 3 Super Bowls, led Emmitt Smith to the NFL rushing title all time, most of it anyway. Why? 3 first-rounders in that draft. Detroit, first place in the division. Why? 3 first-rounders on that offensive line. Could have Frazier or Pritchard or Cedric Van Pran. You could have had one of those stud centers, but you chose not to get him. Yeah, this guy needs to be fired. And it's going to help a long way, too. Fire him, name a new general manager. General manager, you start the process. You start looking for a coach. Because what coach is going to want to come here if the general manager is a lame duck? So now I'm going to get a new general manager who didn't select me. I have one bad year. He has every single right to can me. And I'm out of a job. So I think it's time for Ryan Poles to go. I think you start with the GM search and make it a thorough and exhaustive search. Well, listen. 2 hours is come and gone. I want to thank my guest, Fred Pfeiffer, for the Big Red Bus, for coming out and talking Bears football with me. I'm sorry, Bulls basketball with me. Although he did mention the Bears sometimes in our conversation. I want to thank you guys in chat for keeping it lit, for talking, asking questions, interacting with me, and with yourselves. But listen, I won't be on New Year's Day. I'll be on Friday. I will be on Friday. So no New Year's Day. All right? So listen, guys, I hope you're doing what I asked you. Hey, make sure you let your loved ones know you love them. It's holiday season. A lot of people are, for the first time, without someone close to them. All right? Let's be kind. Let your people know you love them and be kind. All right? Guys, have a phenomenal day. I will see you Friday. Whatever you're doing, be safe for New Year's. Take an Uber, take a Lyft. All right, if you're going to be drinking, don't do that. Save yourself 10 grand, at least 10 grand. All right, put the bait in your car, the blow meter, breath alcohol indicator device or something like that. And a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of needless a pain in the ass that can be avoided. All right, take an Uber or Lyft. They'll be out in full force on New Year's Eve. All right, folks, this will be replayed today at 6. So you can catch it there if you missed anything. From everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, guys, have a happy New Year. I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. I am out.